Every day you feed your dog. A meal in the morning, a meal at night. You watch it devour food. Its tail wagging, its eyes full of trust, and you think you're doing right. But what if I told you? That very habit might be quietly harming your dog. Would you believe it? It sounds absurd. Right. Who would think feeding your dog regularly each day could be a mistake? But behind the picture of a happy dog with a full bowl lie a host of problems that few notice. Digestive disorders, stress, even dangerous diseases, whose causes many owners don't realize stem from this very routine. Why do puppies sometimes need to eat 5 times a day while adult dogs should eat only twice? Why is one meal fine for some breeds, but for others it could be fatal? The answer lies in how their bodies and psyches operate differently at each life stage. In today's video, I'll show you the feeding mistake that 90% of dog owners make every day, and a small adjustment that can completely transform your dog's health, longevity, and mood. Because caring for a dog has never just been about feeding it full, it's about understanding how they need to be loved. Pamper Feed, Kyber Diet. Part 1. Puppies from 0 to 2 months. The first mistake that may haunt them for life. Have you ever seen someone feed a puppy just a few weeks old with porridge outside milk or soft food and thought, "Poor thing, let me give it a little extra to make it strong"? The painful truth is that act of what seems like love may irrevocably harm the puppy's health. In the first 2 months, a puppy doesn't need anything but its mother's milk. That milk is not just nourishment, it's a biological shield helping them fight disease. In every sip, there are antibodies, warmth, security, things no other food can replace. If you separate the puppy too soon, or force it to eat other food, you not only harm its fragile digestive system, but you sever the first natural bond of life. The digestive system of a puppy in this stage is like a petal, just unfolding, delicate, vulnerable, not ready to handle heavy fare. One wrong meal can cause diarrhea, dehydration, immune disorders, or long-term intestinal disease. Many puppies thought to be born weak are actually victims of human intervention done too early. But the greatest damage isn't to the stomach, it's to the heart. Puppies separated too early often live with lingering insecurity. They become fearful, clingy, or tremble when alone. Some will never fully learn to trust no matter how much love they receive later. So don't confuse care with impatience. Loving properly sometimes means learning to wait. Let a puppy stay with its mother for at least 8 weeks, enough that they grow under nature's protection, not under human haste. Have you ever adopted a puppy too early? Was it frail, scared, or constantly seeking your warmth? Tell me your story in the comments. Maybe your experience will help someone avoid a mistake many have made. Because in just a few weeks, when that little belly begins to accept real food, another mistake, more common, still waits ahead. And it's one many owners deeply regret. Part 2. Puppies from 2 to 3 months. A little belly needing great care. In this stage, a puppy is like a tiny digestive machine, always hungry, always wanting to eat. But it's here. Many commit a seemingly small error with serious consequences, feeding too few meals per day. Many people think 2 meals a day is enough, just like adult dogs. It sounds reasonable, but imagine giving a newborn baby just 2 meals a day. What would happen? The puppy's weak body cannot endure extended intervals of hunger. Their stomach is small, absorption limited, yet energy spends non-stop for growth. Miss just 1 meal and their blood sugar can drop dangerously low. You might see them trembling, vomiting, staggering, or even passing out, signs of hypoglycemia. I once witnessed a 9-week-old poodle nearly die because its owner forgot the midday meal. Fortunately, it was caught in time, but the outcome could have been catastrophic. At this age, puppies need 4 to 5 small meals daily, spaced evenly. Each meal should be just enough to keep energy stable, not overload them. This helps the gut function better and teaches the puppy a biological rhythm that cares constant, that someone always remembers them. If you're busy, set alarms or get help from family. A few minutes preparing food can save a fragile life. Don't let negligence turn into regret. Do you have tips to remember feeding times or ways to avoid skipped meals when you're at work? Share in the comments. Your experience could help save another puppy's life. And as the puppy grows, its digestive system strengthens, yet many commit the opposite mistake, cutting meals too soon, causing confusion, loss of appetite, and fatigue. That story begins in the next stage. Part 3. Puppies. 3 to 6 months. When you cut meals too early, their body isn't ready. This is when puppies start becoming sturdier, teething, eating well, and playing endlessly. Many see that growth and think, now it's like an adult dog, cut down the meals. And so from 4 or 5 meals, they drop to 2 or 3 abruptly. It sounds rational, but for the puppy's body, it's a real shock. Their digestive system may be stronger, but still not fully stable. If you reduce meals too fast, the stomach must work harder. More acid is produced, and bloating, gas, or refusal to eat can follow. Some become picky, slow to grow, or even fear mealtime, since each meal feels like a battle to their tender stomach. Instead, reduce gradually, from 5 to 4, then to 3. Between each change, wait at least a week for the body to adapt. And most important, keep mealtimes consistent, morning, midday, evening. If you maintain a steady eating rhythm, their body will learn a cycle like ours: eat, play, rest, wait. Many don't realize feeding on schedule helps stabilize hormones in a dog's body. It reduces stress, calms their spirit, and makes them easier to train, especially for sensitive breeds. Poodles, corgis, border collies. Just changing mealtimes can mean lost sleep, extra barking, or skipping meals for days. Think about this: to us, a meal is trivial. To them, it is the one moment each day to connect with you. They wait at the door, ears up, when they hear the bowl tails wag, hoping you'll say it's time. Don't let that moment be disrupted by busyness or neglect. Have you noticed your dog anticipating feeding time, gazing at you long before the bowl is placed? Try recalling that in the comments. Sometimes those small details show how deeply they understand us. And when they surpass 6 months, their feeding rhythm shifts again. If you don't transition, right, this mistake can cause stress, disinterest in food, even illness. We'll talk about that now. Part 4. Dogs. 6 months to 1 year. When only 2 meals remain, and why this stage is the trickiest. Around 6 months, your dog's body begins stabilizing. Many breathe a sigh of relief. Now we're past the hard part. 2 meals like adult dogs. But ironically, this stage is when many dogs face digestive problems, refusal to eat, or uncontrolled weight gain, all from sudden human changes. Shifting from 3 meals down to 2 daily, their digestive system must readjust contractions, acid volume, and hunger hormones. If you cut a meal without slightly increasing portion size or keeping consistent times, the dog's body may enter nutritional stress. You may see them eat less, get irritable, or even scratch doors, bark at night. Not out of bad behavior, but because their body is confused. This is when you need to remember a golden rule: don't just feed your dog, feed it on schedule. A light breakfast, a full dinner, that ideal rhythm. If you often delay meals or dump both meals into the evening because you're busy all day, be cautious. A dog's body needs time to digest before sleep. If you let it eat too late, a full stomach leads to higher stress hormones, poor sleep, or subtle stomach pain the next morning. Did you know that eating on schedule helps reduce cortisol, the hormone that makes dogs fearful, shaky, or harder to manage? By feeding consistently, your dog becomes calmer, less destructive, and sometimes surprisingly obedient. If your schedule is chaotic, try reworking it. A gentle early breakfast and peaceful dinner are enough to help your dog feel safe and loved. To them, every meal isn't just nutrition, it's you saying, "I'm still here. I remember you." Do you usually feed your dog at the same time each day? Or do you feed when convenient? Share how you maintain this habit. Perhaps it will help another owner understand the importance of feeding rhythm. Because when your dog becomes fully mature, the smallest error in feeding a wrong mealtime or overly large portion can cause consequences more serious than you'd imagine. Especially for large breeds, a single bad eating habit can become a life-threatening issue. Part 5. Adult dogs. When just 1 meal a day can steal their life. Once a dog is fully grown, many think feeding becomes simpler. 1 meal a day is enough to keep it simple, they say. But that very habit, seemingly convenient, seemingly harmless, kills many dogs each year without their owners even knowing. An adult dog's body, especially medium to large breeds like Goldens, Rottweilers, Great Danes, is highly susceptible to a dangerous condition: gastric torsion, bloat. It happens when a dog eats too fast or eats a large amount in one sitting. The stomach expands, presses on other organs, and if not treated quickly, the dog can suffocate or go into shock within hours. Many don't believe it until they see their beloved dog collapse, breathing heavily, abdomen rigid, panic in its eyes. By then, regret is too late. In fact, the American Kennel Club (AKC) recommends that medium to large breeds should eat 2 meals per day, spaced morning and evening. This not only reduces the risk of torsion, but helps stabilize insulin, manage weight, and improve digestive efficiency. If your dog begs for more, don't give in. It's not hunger, it's habit. Instead, hold the feeding schedule firm. Sometimes consistency is a deeper way to express love. But just as vital is how they eat. Many dogs gulp their food like they're afraid of losing their share, and that is a red flag. A meal eaten in fear, swallowed in haste, often carries anxiety, loneliness, or pressure you never knew was there. Help them eat more slowly. Use slow feeder bowls. Hide food in toys, or scatter kibble over a clean floor. When they must search for each bite, the brain is stimulated. The heart rate steadies and psychology calms. Behavior research shows dogs fed this foraging way reduce anxiety noticeably within just 2 weeks. Have you observed how fast your dog eats? Do you think it's truly hungry or afraid of losing its portion? Try sharing that in the comments. Your story might awaken someone else's awareness. And as time marches on, when graying hairs appear around the muzzle and they no longer run like before, feeding must change again, gently, slowly, and with deep love. Part 6. Senior Dogs. When a meal is no longer just nutrition but comfort. Time moves faster than we think. One day the once energetic dog that ran circles around you begins to slow. Steps heavier, eyes clouding, breath, short tail wagging more gently. Everything changes, including how they need to be fed. In old age, a dog's digestive system weakens significantly. The liver, kidneys, joints all slow down. Many begin skipping meals, vomiting slightly, or only tasting food before walking away. Don't rush to assume they're just old. The right feeding method now can extend their life by years. Instead of 2 large meals, divide into 3 or 4 smaller meals, soft, easily digestible food, rich in fiber, low in salt. Smaller meals help absorption, reduce strain on liver, kidneys, and stabilize blood sugar. A veterinary study noted that senior dogs given multiple small meals daily not only live longer but suffer less anxiety and sleep better. But the most important part isn't the food itself, it's the feeling of security. Senior dogs need consistent rhythm, fixed feeding times, familiar resting spots, and your reassuring voice. Every meal to them is not just about fullness, but affirmation. I'm still loved. They don't need gourmet dishes, they only need you to sit beside them. Stroke their head, whisper, "Eat, my dear." You might not notice, but in that moment those cloudy eyes will brighten. Because in their heart, you're still their whole world. If your dog is old now, try eating a meal beside them once. Slow down. Watch them chew. Swallow, breathe, glance up toward your eyes. It's not just a meal, it's a memory you'll treasure. Because when their journey nears its end, you'll realize what mattered most was never how much you fed, but how much love you poured into each meal. Looking back from the first bites to the final ones, there will be one thing that makes you smile through tears. They lived fully because you loved them rightly. From the moment they open their eyes to their last breath, a dog's life revolves around simple things. Warmth, eye contact, and the meals you offer. To you, it's just filling a bowl. To them, it's a promise that you're still here, still remembering, still loving. Feeding mistakes aren't sins, but the result of loving without full understanding. Everyone does it. Some feed too early, others miss meals, some give too little, some too much. But once you begin to adjust, you give them a gift greater than food: understanding. Remember, feeding dogs properly isn't just so they're healthier, it's so they feel safe, loved, and respected as a family member. Sometimes just a gaze, a gentle voice, a soft hand as you place the bowl, that's enough to make them happy all day long. Because caring for a dog has never been just about filling the bowl. It's how you say, "Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for choosing me to be your whole world." How many meals do you give your dog per day? Have you ever rethought that you could do a bit better, a bit more gently? Share your story in the comments because your experience might help someone love their pet more wisely. And if this video changed how you look at your dog with more warmth, more understanding, stay tuned. In the next video, we'll talk about 5 small signs your dog is sad and how to make them happy again. Because for them, happiness doesn't lie in expensive things, but in your hand, the one they've waited for all their life.